great to have you here. Now, let's talk about how the NAACP ETF is providing investors with exposure to the vision the NAACP has.
Well, it starts with this whole anti-ESG sentiment that's in the marketplace right now. And the way we think about that is every dollar you consume, every dollar you invest impacts the world around you. And the question you have to ask yourself is how intentional do you want to be with that impact? And if you want to be intentional, who are the people, process, and philosophies providing those social and environmental outcomes that you're seeking? And for us, when we were looking at our minority empowerment fund, partnering with the NAACP was a logical conclusion. Founded in 1909, one of the largest social activist organizations in the country, really looking after communities of color. And what we did was we helped them interpret their corporate scorecard that they'd begun in the 90s, working with Sustainalytics to create 20 screens that reflected their vision and aspiration of what a good corporate citizen is. And then we, working with Sustainalytics, score all of the companies based on those criteria and develop a portfolio that you can feel confident reflects the values of the NAACP as it relates to empowering communities of color in the United States.
And how does Impact Shares determine how much it weighs each of its holdings within the NAACP ETF?
That's a great question. And for us, it's really more when it comes to portfolio construction about achieving a financial outcome, right? So we want to mirror the broader market. If the Russell 1000 has 25% tech, then our portfolio will have 25% tech. But those tech leaders that we're investing in are leading based off of their policies and procedures related around social inclusion and social justice.
Now, the sectors with the most weight are tech, healthcare, and financial services, right? So what are companies in these sectors doing that aligns with the NAACP's vision for more closely, rather?
Yeah, well, we do have some sector-specific screens, but for the most part, our 20 screens really deal with fair hiring, pay, and promotion practices, supplier diversity programs, freedom of association programs, diversity and discrimination policies and procedures.
And we understand Impact Shares donates all net advisory profits from NAACP's ETF management fee to the NAACP. Now, can you elaborate as to why this is?
Sure. Impact Shares is set up as a 501c3 SEC registered investment advisor. And our whole goal is to build a platform where instead of having this broad concept of ESG, we have partnerships with leading social and environmental advocacy groups that reflect best practices and very specific social and environmental concepts. So if you think of what State Street did with the spiders and they created access to each sector of the economy, that's what we're trying to do with social and environmental issues so that you as an individual investor can create a bespoke ESG portfolio that's reflective of your personal social and environmental priorities with even a pretty modest portfolio.
Now, Ethan, would you say that those are your major priorities for 2024, or what are you focusing on now?
Well, certainly scaling our existing concepts. We've got two equity funds, our Women's Empowerment Fund that's partnered with the YWCA, our NAACP fund, which we discussed. We have an affordable housing fund that's designed to funnel money into historically redlined communities. And so really it's growing our existing strategies, getting scale and visibility, because ultimately that's how you create the type of impact these funds were designed to create.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Ethan, for joining me this morning. I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Thank you, Trinity.